Hey everyone. See if I get this lighting a little different here. That looks a little better. Thought I would go live today. I'm going off schedule a little bit. Just got some personal things going on with I have my host who is allowing me to live in her basement. She's actually in the hospital. So been visiting and things have been kind of up in the air. So I didn't go on at noon today, but I did want to go on today, especially with the Pisces full moon going on. Oh my goodness. It is beautiful energy. And you either are way up in this beautiful place of unconditional love or you're freaking out. So I do love the energy of Pisces. I have a Pisces moon myself in my birth chart and like four other planetary uh, spheres. So I am very in tune and impacted by that. But I want to thank you all for being here. Whoever is watching this on replay, or whoever is in the chat room right now, just thank you so much for being here. And I want to make sure you're aware if you do want to ask any questions, as I do live readings today, you just have to be a member, subscribed to my YouTube channel, and then it'll immediately allow you to enter a comment in the chat box down there. And then we'll definitely pull cards for you. So I always like starting off pulling from these Guardian Angel deck here. And so I'm going to pull a card here and just see what the angels would like us to know today. All right. We've got the Judgment card. See, that'll focus. There it goes. And it says, let go of your fear of being judged. You are good enough. It's time to release all that you have kept safely locked away in your heart. Your true essence and potential have been restricted by structure and method for long enough. There's no right or wrong way. Just be you. I love that. Yeah, definitely be free. The wonderful, wonderful love from above is unconditional, not conditional. That's what I love about, um, our whole spiritual transformation and our growth throughout life. We might start off in organized religion where there's a little bit of fear and a little bit of condition sometimes attached to God's love for us. But as we get to know the Creator personally, from our heart to theirs, we realize that a lot of, if it's of fear, if there's any fear in it at all, that comes from the human, from mankind. Because God does not give us a spirit of fear, right? As it says in the Christian Bible, anyway. But it's, unconditional. There's no conditions. And we know that's of the Creator. So I love the freedom that comes with that there. And I am going to pull a variety of cards. I know sometimes people don't want to put their business out, in a chat room, a public chat room. So I do pull cards just randomly throughout my sessions here live as well, so that those of you that are like, I want an answer, but I don't want to put it out there. Spirit knows they don't need you to do that. They will put the message down and have it come out for you anyway. So I love that. So I do want to start off here. I'd like to pull a card here from this beautiful sacred forest deck here. And let's see what else Spirit has to say for us today. And one more time. All right. So what else would you like us to know this beautiful, bright, full moon in Pisces day? All right. And we've got the Raven Spirit, Truth. There it goes. Beautiful, beautiful card. Let's see what message comes in. It is card number 32. And it says, as you look up, you see a raven peering at you from a branch. Uh-oh. It feels like he's gazing straight into your soul, and he swoops down and lands on your hand. Amazingly, he begins to talk, telling you the deeper truths of your life. He reminds you to focus on what is important and admonishes you to make choices in life that honor your truth. Stark honesty is called for at this time in your life. In ancient Greece, it was believed that ravens carried messages from the gods, and because of their acute vision, they were thought to be the bringers of truth. The soul loves the truth. What is your truth regarding your life? Be honest with yourself and speak from the heart. Listen for what is sincere and honest in others. Step away from those who are cagey and duplicitous. The hardest thing about living your truth is knowing exactly what that is. However, there is a place within you that always knows what is real and what isn't. Release situations and people with whom you find yourself less than honest for fear of being judged or not accepted. It can take time to discover what is true for you, but once you know, let go of anything in your life that isn't authentic. Miracles follow when you take time to be genuine. The raven is also considered to be the totem and protector of the queen of fairies. And the spirit of the raven says, the soul loves the truth. Find your truth, speak your truth, live your truth. Be fearless in your journey. Follow your inner guidance. Let go of what is not authentic and sincere in life. Be a shining example of truth for others. I do love that because that kind of builds on what we were talking about with that first card, too, right? About the judgment. Let the judgments go. This one talked about finding the capital T truth and let small t truths fall away. Those are the small t truths that are rooted in the fear of losing that conditional love that we find in the outside world. And the capital T truth are those that are rooted in the unconditional love of the creator of all things. So I love, love, love those messages. And I'm going to use today, I'm using these beautiful sun and moon tarot, and we'll pull cards with that. Hey, Shopper Tarot. Oh, thank you so much for this subscribing. And I am awake, and that is good. How are you doing? No, I've been dreaming, dreaming, dreaming like crazy for this full moon. So we'll pull some cards here. And if you have something that you would like me, yeah. And in my birth chart too, I'm a Pisces moon. So I'm like great to hear. Great to hear. If you'd like me to pull any cards for you at all, just let me know if you want me to do a general reading or if you have a specific question. Be happy to pull cards for a fellow tarot reader. I don't know if you want to read a Pisces mind. Maybe it's better that you're on the outside. Too funny, too funny. So some cards did pop out here, so I'm just going to start reading these and we'll see what's going on here. So we do have Where are you? Too funny. So we've got the 6 of swords popping up here first. There we go. And of course, the 6 of swords Swords are all about our thoughts, our beliefs, our mindsets, our attitudes, our expectations. And the Six of Swords is great. It is a movement card, moving from one way of thinking to a new way of thinking. Leave old ways of thinking behind and moving into new ones. So I like that coming in here. Oh my gosh, yeah. Then we've got the Nine of Swords, which is, of course, known as the insomnia or nightmare card. And you can see all of those small t truths, those thoughts that are on her mind, just exhausting her, who trying to live up to all those expectations of the outside world. So I really do like these two together because, this does represent you are moving beyond these overwhelming thoughts and beliefs, all these opinions that have been inundated, and you are moving onto a new direction. Yeah, because then you have the Justice card as well. You see in her hands there in the middle is the Ace of Swords, which is beautiful because I always look at that as cutting away. One, it attaches us to the higher realms where we can connect to the capital T truths that are rooted in that unconditional love, and it allows us to cut away, all of those small T truths of the Nine of Swords here, which brings in this beautiful balance, this understanding that we're not all this lump and one-sided in the fears of this human world. We have hope that helps balance out those beautiful scales that are going on there. Oh my gosh. Then the Eight of Swords. So whoever this reading is for, you are in your mind a lot, or you're an air sign, either Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius, or you have a lot of air in your chart. But this is a great card to have. You can see all the strings are from the heavens that make this person feel like they're being controlled. Normally, they have someone that's blindfolded and bound and then trapped by all of the swords. And this is a great movement card as well, movement up into a new way of thinking. And you're realizing what thoughts and beliefs that you have had that have been making you feel blinded and bound and trapped, and you're realizing all of that's been in here. I control that, and there's a freedom that comes from that, and you move up to a new higher way of thinking as well. Okay. Very good. Very good. So this reading was for you then. Um, so yeah, definitely. I see that coming in here. I do want to pull a Power of Surrender card here too. See what will help us get out of our minds, right? I'm actually an Aquarius sun too, so I can understand. I got all this water in my chart, all this emotional stuff, but then I go. So the first one is surrender procrastination. And that says now is the time to jump on a goal instead of putting it off. Taking action will attract success. So I like that. I kind of feel like that's I can do this where I can plan and plan and then, well, let me adjust that plan and do more planning and let me adjust that some more. And it's like sometimes I need spirit just to go, just start. You don't need it to be perfect to start it. Just do it, move on it. Let's go, let's move along and do this. And I'm like, okay, you know, and of course, some of that, I feel is related to how, like, with me, I have my perfectionist mentality came from childhood, of course. As children, we have to do something amazing and big to get attention. So we need it to be perfect, and we don't want to take a chance, at messing something up and getting rejected. So we like won't do things that we know we're not going to be successful at, and then we're going to go overboard trying to make sure it's successful. But I love the freedom that comes with that. Yeah, because the other card that popped up was surrender stress. Beautiful card. And Take a few deep breaths and exhale the tension you've built up in your body. Let the stress go as you come back to center. So yeah, definitely, I like that. Letting stress go and not letting it rule, and move on those things that you're thinking about, and knowing that there's no wrong, in what we do. That it's all here for our experience, right? We're the ones that have that power. So I love about the swords too is the story, that we apply to any situation comes from in here. And that's our power, right? We have that power of choice both in mind and in heart. We get to choose what story we apply to any situation. We get to say what it means. And we also get to choose what emotion we want as we go through it. And, I know people in the outside of us definitely have opinions on what that thing should mean and how we should feel, all that supposed to and should and need to and have to and must, all those expectations. That's the small t truths that are all determined by popular opinion in the outside world. So all this oops all this you know opinion that's given to us, are almost taught that we don't have our opinion. We're just supposed to listen to everything that's going on and given to us the outside world. But I know as you're connecting, because you pull tarot, you connect to spirit, and you connect to this higher truth, and you're like, that's kind of different than all that stuff I'm hearing. And we get to choose that. We get to choose. And when spirit first told me too that, we have this power of choice, I'm like, I don't feel like I'm choosing how I feel or choosing to put a story in a situation. It just happens and I feel this way and it happens and that's what I think it means. And of course, they are very gentle and point out that every human child is given all that popular opinion. We take that on as our own belief because don't know any better. We don't know that we're not supposed to, or that we can say no, that's okay, that's not what I'm going to believe. We just take it all on, even the stuff that's contradictory. Two people are telling us two different things. We're like, okay, I'll kind of just put them together and put them in here and put them in here. And but it becomes our habit, it becomes our reaction, and where it happens so fast that we don't realize we're making a choice. But we can change our habit on what we allow something to mean when it happens, or what we feel as we go through it. And habits take time, of course. Usually we'll start recognizing it after we've gone through something and still applied the same story and same emotion around it and go, whoa, wait, no, I didn't want to do that. But be gentle with ourselves. Don't judge ourselves over it. And just go, okay, wait, let me just imagine in my mind and in my emotions how I wanted it to feel and what I wanted it to mean. And let me reenact it in my mind. And when I redo that over and over, eventually, when I go through it again, I will start adjusting how I think and how I feel about something. And that just makes a changing of the habit over time. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. But if you have anything you'd like clarified, or anyone else that has come in, if you would have any questions that you'd like to ask, just pop them down below in the comments, and I will definitely pull cards for that. Hopefully that resonated sharper. If you want any clarification on that. I know, right? For Saturday evening too. At least it's Saturday evening here, where I'm at. It's like it's a bit much. Gonna have to grab some coffee. Too fun. Let's see what else comes in here. I think I'm going to grab just 2 seconds. I'm going to turn on another light. I'm not sure if that helped a whole lot, but let me just Just a little bit. Okay. Maybe. Okay. Let's see what else is going on here. Actually, I want to pull a numerology deck card here. Let's see what numerology is coming in for us today. How long you been pulling tarot cards, Sharper? Both for yourself and for others. I know we start off like pulling for ourselves. I love it. So we got a karmic completion coming in. Oh, very good. Very good. So on YouTube, 1.5 years. And did you start before then with yourself, or did you just go live, your first deck, open it up and go? Would that'd be a fun experiment. But yeah, so we got this beautiful karmic completion, of course, endings and new beginnings coming in with the number 10. And there is this wonderful energy, whoever this is for, that is watching it, that it's you know, you put a lot of effort and you've done so much, that this wonderful wave of unconditional love and joy and just success and this upliftingness is coming your way, and I love that. Hey Spring, welcome. Glad you can make it. Oh, very nice, very nice. I know there's so many tarot readers these days, and I'm so happy. We don't have to compete. It's like there's billions of people in the world, and this is a time for so much truth and so much love to be shared through readings and guidance, because the world definitely is in a place of hope, right? Where it's like the divide between light is becoming a big cavern, and hope is what is filling it up. So I love that. Hey, Helene, welcome. Helene? Helene? I think I said that right. Welcome. Thank you all for being here. If you guys have any questions, pop them down below. And of course, I go live. I'm kind of growing my YouTube channel, having like a subscriber marathon. And because of that, I'm doing a ton of different giveaways where each Friday I have been putting out a new video with a new giveaway. And I have the links down in the description box of this video. And let's see, what did I have right now? Like I just put out the winners earlier today for the Hedge of Peace and Love. Next week, I will be pulling for the Wish Upon a Star Astro reading. And then after that, I have like a 3-tier personal reading one that I'm pulling. And then there will be a Life Compass Astro readings too. So there's a bunch of stuff coming out. So definitely check that out. And if you have subscribed, just make sure your like alarm bell has it for all, and then you'll get the announcements when I put out new giveaways and when I announce the winners too. All right. My pleasure, Spring. Great, Spring. I'm going to jump to Helene. She just beat you by a fraction of a second. So I will read for Helene, and then I will bounce over to you. And so, Helene, you want to ask if Dev and I will be good? You just reconnected. Okay. Oh. I laughed because when you said Dev, I go, is it the devil? And then the card came flying out. They are hilarious during this Pisces full moon. Happy Pisces full moon for everyone that's joined. And so with the devil card coming out, it's definitely for you. The devil card for me, because it represents Capricorn energy, it's ruled by Saturn. And Saturn is the taskmaster. It is the one that comes in and shakes up your belief systems, challenges you to move beyond the boxed in thinking, the boxed in way of looking at things, and moving up to a new level. So any human that comes into our life is a divine appointment that is a mirror for us, reflecting to us what we want to see about ourselves until we see it. And you either will have the same person that will, reconnect, and whatever you learned from when you were together, disconnected and reconnected, is being reflected back to you now. And so you're seeing things from a different perspective, seeing things in a whole different way. um, I know with me, it was like 5 different people came into my life in and out, and I learned through those. Instead of 1 person over a decade, I had 5 people over a decade instead. But, that is, coming in. Okay, yeah, Devin, good. But let's take a look here and see what else they want you to know about this. So you did get the King of Swords, so I guess I could show you the card too. Don't have to hog them to myself. So the King of Swords, swords are your thoughts, your beliefs, your mindsets, your attitudes. Uh, he is wielding this Ace of Swords, which is about you seeing higher truths, seeing things from a different perspective. But I really feel it also is telling you to be aware that you're in your mind a lot about it, because the kings not only rule over their suit, which he's over air, which is mind, but all the kings in the minor arcana also get a portion of air. So he's 2 portions of air. So very much in your mind. And I kind of feel like, now that I'm saying that, and when I say he, I feel like it's him. That he's very much a not a mental case, but he's like always in his head. He might even be like an air sign or have a lot of air in his chart. So he might be a Gemini, Libra or Aquarius. And okay, the other card that popped out here is the Four of Wands. This always, the way they have this here, this reminds me of the Wheel of Fortune too. And the Four of Wands is kind of a celebration, party, sometimes marriage. But this is about stable energy now. And so they're telling me that this is both of you, that you guys have learned to stay on the wheel as it turns, right? As the wheel turns, so are the days of your life. But I kind of feel like as things were changing and things were going, when they went upside down, you guys were hanging on for dear life, and then they come back around, and you're like, okay, you both have different perspectives. You are coming from this place of wisdom and understanding, but more balanced energy. And kind of feel like, I don't know why they're saying it. It's like you guys kind of grew up when you had this little, the break that happened, and now that you're have reconnected, it's like you're definitely not the same people you were before, and so it's kind of like you're getting reacquainted and reflecting on what you've learned, and even when old emotions might start to rise, you're approaching them in a completely different way. Yeah. Yeah, you definitely, it's like it's like a spiral staircase, right? How you're never in the same spot. You might start off here, but you've gone a whole floor above, and even though you're looking at the windows and it looks like similar surroundings, you're up another floor or 2, and so you have a higher different perspective on it. Yeah, and so you got both the Sun and the Empress popping out too. So huge growth, huge, this is like success. This is brightness. And here again, just showing that you have wings and you are seeing things from a higher perspective. You did a lot of reflection, because this is Leo energy, where you've looked at your child self quite a bit too. So I feel like you guys have done some inner work and really faced some of your deep, dark emotions that kept echoing. And you looked at some stuff and you understand, okay, that's why that freaks me out, or that's why that is one of my triggers. And so it's like this awareness has come in here, but you're definitely ready. It's a new birth that's happening here. And if you don't want children, if you're able to have children, beware. So, definitely, this success. You can see she's even got. See if it'll come on. Well, she's holding like a bag of what looked like a bag of money. It might be something else. Yeah. So, I would still just take it slowly and paying attention to what you see in the reflection in the mirror, realizing that what's being reflected back to you is you, and that what he is seeing is a reflection of him. So whatever he gets upset and does stuff about, look at how are you being upset on the inside. So always look at that as the mirror. May not be the exact situation, but if they're angry, then how am I angry in the inside, or how are my thoughts about what's going on angry, and kind of use that as that reflection. Oh, very cool, very cool. So hopefully that resonated there, Helene. If you have additional questions, pop them down. I'm going to jump over to Springs and I'll come back around. If you do have additional questions. So, Spring, you need to find a rental home and nothing has come yet. Also, wondering about love in the near future. Okay, let's take a look here. Thanks for your patience while I did that other reading. Oh, okay. Okay. Well, I'll just share it with you right away. That way you won't wonder what my giggling is about. So you have the Five of Cups, which is about, like it says up here, disappointment. So these, ways that you're looking at things, the reflections that you're seeing, is part of the whole process, right? We come down here to experience those three cups that are out here floating around in the water, but you have the Two of Cups here. So there is this energy, this essence, of course, of uh, I get to choose what I'm going to feel as I go through anything. That's what the Two of Cups is about. Is every moment is a choice between unconditional love or the fear of losing conditional love. And so when there's anxiety coming up about, I'm looking at the apartment first, is what it was that they're talking about is, well, of course, this can apply to love and everything else in life. But when we are have this anxiety or this fear come up, it's like really asking ourselves, what am I fearing? What am I afraid of? You know, and I know I've had moves over these last probably 5 years. I've moved like three times, like completely out of state and out of state and different directions. And I'm like, are you sure you want me to move to that place? And they're like, yep. And I go, but how is it all gonna happen? And they're like, do you trust me? And I'm like, oh, yes, I do trust you. And then like, do you love me? And then I'm like, okay, yeah, I do love you. And then things kind of lighten up and things, kind of change there too. But let's see what else. So I kind of feel like they're saying, um, as you're going through the waiting period, it's like getting used to the emotions of trust. Where do you have trust? Um, and uh, do we believe in the timing of the universe too? That was the other thing, right? It's like, do you trust me? Yeah. Do you trust my timing? Well, let me think about that for a minute. Yeah, I do. Well, then why are you worried for it? And I'm like, because I'm enjoying my anxiety. So can I just have that for a little bit? Wow. And then you got the Five of Pentacles. So the worry. And of course, both fives are about change and these changes of these things that we go through in our lives. And the Five of Pentacles is, again, one of those, almost like kind of what I said. It's what I need. Is it mankind that's going to bring me my apartment? It's like, that's why we worry, right? I know that's why we worry, because we think, oh, if I have to trust mankind to bring it to me, I'm screwed. But the creator, when we trust that we're always going to have what we need in every single moment, then we can transform our worry into faith, into trust. We can transform that disappointment into realizing I have the power to choose what I want to feel in each moment. So we'll take a look. Yeah, and then you have the Nine of Swords. So a lot on your mind, Miss Spring. Insomnia? Nightmares? But yeah, definitely there's that looping, in going on in the mind. And, it's the fear of, I really feel like they're just saying, what are you fearing? What's at the root of that fear? And I start off going, what am I afraid? Well, if I don't have an apartment, I can't find one, then I'm going to end up out on the streets. And it's like, well, what could you do? Well, I could put stuff in storage, and then I know a friend that will let me sleep on their couch. Okay, so you won't be outside at least. I'm like, okay, yeah, that's true. So I won't be living in a box, in an alley somewhere. I'm going to have somewhere somehow you will provide. Okay, but if you keep on taking it down, like I'm going to end up, you know, when you get to the very root of our fears, usually, if we're saying it out loud, especially, it starts to sound almost ridiculous. Where I'm like, I'm going to end up thrown out in the edge of the city, everyone hating me, and I'm going to die alone of starvation, eaten by wolves, or something. And you're like, okay, now that I got it all out there and it's out into the light, then it's good. Yeah, and then you had the devil card pop up here too. So definitely this is happening on purpose for a purpose. You know, the Saturn card is, like I said, I don't know if I finished my phrase. Maybe that's why they brought it back up too. So this might be for you as well. Card is Capricorn energy. It is who rules over Capricorn, and I'm Capricorn rising, so I love Capricorn. That's how I see the world, is about changing the way we look at things, challenging the way we look at things, and it just rattles our cages. But if we do the work around that transformation, there's always a reward at the end of it too. And that's what Capricorn, Saturn does through that energy. They create this task and this challenge, but there's a great reward at the end of it too. Oh, very good. Very good. So yeah, I would definitely take a look at that through that writing practice. I would love to hear about that. I always like hearing new tools on how we do things. And then we'll look at love here. And let me just say, hey, Jaden, welcome, new subscriber. And I will get to you after Spring there. Hey, Mr. Fireworks. All right. So let's take a look here. And if you have more questions about that apartment thing, I feel like they're saying enjoy the process, trust, because that's what like kind of this little adventure is for. Because 2 5s with that devil card is all about the challenge, the work, challenging your beliefs about it, especially with that Nine of Swords. You're almost to the point of exhaustion trying to live up to all that expectation of what should happen and how it should unfold. And they're like saying, give it to us. Do you trust? Do you trust? So let's take a look here. So, Spring, what about love in the future? Whoa, 3 cards. Boom, boom, boom. So you have the Eight of Pentacles. Look at that. Beautiful heart growth. There we go. So you definitely are unfolding your heart, and there is growth there. This is moving to a new level. So that is great. So I love that. That's what the other two are here. You got the Three of Pentacles. So this is about you being your authentic self in the outside world, and expressing yourself authentically, not trying to be uh, who you think someone else should be in your life. So definitely sticking to your guns, and not transforming. I kind of feel like we might be soul sisters, the soul brothers, in a way of, you know, we tend to uh, give ourselves away and become we shrink ourselves for other people, or that was our tendency. And so that's like kind of like we want to watch that I don't want to change who I am to become who I think they want me to be. I'm going to be me, and then I'll attract someone who likes me for me, right? And so I feel like you're doing the work, doing that thing in the outside world that you love. And as you do that and as you express that and you are passionate about this thing that you're doing in the outside world, because that Eight of Pentacles also was about, you moving up to a new level in the outside world, that will bring that person. Oh my God, you got three pentacles and the two pentacles. Yeah. So balancing though, balancing the higher and the lower, balancing both things in your life and change. So, as this change that's happening here, I really feel like this lesson that you're so meshed in with this, with the rental and the finding the rental property and all that. It's like that is going to show you so much about every area of your life too. And I like that balance that Two of Pentacles is showing. Now you're like, okay, I get it. I'm aware of how the human world works, but I'm trusting my connection and I'm trusting my intuition and my gut. And I'm going to live life, and whatever comes is what comes, but I'm not going to invest a lot in the past or the future. I'm going to live now and not, have a lot of it there. But I mean, you got three pentacles for the outside world, and they're all good stuff. The Three of Pentacles, like I said, is about you being you. You're moving up in the world, but balancing things out, balancing your mind with your heart, your passion with your life too. Welcome, everyone. Look at all the wonderful people coming in here. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. And if you thank you for all the new subscribers that are saying hi to. Just put your questions down below, and I will definitely just go down the list. So thank you for your patience. Once I get to you, I'll give you the messages from Spirit. But I'm going to take it in order. So hopefully that helped, Spring, and that resonated. If not, if you have additional questions, just pop it down below, and I will circle back around here. And it looked like here, Jaden was next. Again, thank you for subscribing. And Jaden, you wanted to know if Capricorn, Cayenne's current true feelings and intentions towards you. And you're in Aries. All right. Fire. So let's take a look here and see what Capricorn Cayenne, what their true feelings and intentions are towards you. All right. Okay, so you did get two cards. So the first card is the Hierophant. And then you also have the Four of Wands. So with both of these together, there is this wonderful stability about it that I kind of feel like like here's your fire energy, right? So Capricorn is earth energy and your fire energy. So I kind of feel like this is the two together here. This is them. They're very they almost seem, I don't want to boring, but in comparison to your energy, you're kind of like, they're can be sometimes not as energetic as you. But I love that it's the Four of Wands that popped up, because the Four of Wands is more stable. And I kind of feel like, um, how kind of opposites attract in a way, where they're very matter of fact, serious, maybe like more serious than they have to be, I guess is a way. And then you are just like fire in your excitement, and like to go, and maybe you like to go out and they like to stay in. They're you're funny and excited, and they're like very subdued and that kind of thing. And so I feel like the feelings for them is like, they're a little bit like, wow, but they're also attracted to it because they want that for themselves. They want to be pulled more towards the center. And I kind of feel like that's why you're both in each other's life, whether it gets into romanticness or not, or if how deep it goes. But you definitely are in there for this balancing that's coming in there. So I mean, of course, like I was talking about earlier, anyone that comes into our life is a divine appointment. They're a mirror for us, reflecting back to us. These feelings that come up inside of us are ours, and the feelings that come up inside of them are theirs. But you get to learn about yourself through it all too. And, we get pulled a little more towards the center too, and we learn a lot about ourselves through that. So I do love that for you there. And so yeah, feelings, that's the feelings, the intentions, um with them being represented by the hierophant, this one, it's like they want to learn, from you, if that makes sense. They're just really, there's like this intriguing piece because you're kind of different from them, that they really are looking into going, I want to learn about that, because that's Capricorn investigation kind of stuff. They're like, wow, I want to see what this is about. They're also, the human side of them kicks in, and they want to, uh I don't want to say they want to teach you, but they want to help you in their own little special way. Sometimes Capricorn energy can come across that way. It's like the devil card. They are like, I want to help him through this lesson. So just be aware of that. All right. So let me keep going down here. All right. So I think I'm down to Manur Riaz Gadar. I probably total murdered that. I'm sorry. But you can definitely ask the question, which you did, which is Chris from Snapchat actually? Oh, sneakiness, huh? Is someone playing a little game over here? Let's take a look here and see what Spirit wants you to know about that. And then Mr. Fireworks, you'll be next. Appreciate it. Hey, Marie. Hello. Thank you for your subscribing there. All right. So let's see here. Manure. Let's take a look. What's going on here? Let's say one card came out here. So you've got the Hanged Man here. And this is about seeing things from a higher perspective. And yeah, I don't feel the energy of this one is positive. It's not like a negative thing. So I would say no, that this is not, that isn't them, but that this is you allowing you to see things from a different perspective as well through this situation. But yeah, I don't have like a deceiver type of energy coming from that. That's just like you hanging from the tree, seeing things from a different perspective. Yeah. So this is a lesson for you, that's coming in here. This is not them. That's what they had the Hangman come out first. So this Devil card is showing up quite a bit here tonight. You think it was a Capricorn full moon, but yeah, it's not. This is something for you to understand. What are you? What is the fear around it? What is the lesson? What is the perception that you have? And why, what is this lesson teaching you with this, fearing or upset or angry or whatever it might be? It's like, why is this person them? Why do I care if it is? Why would it matter? It's like all these questions that they're coming up for you, and it's like they've put this in here for you, to question that. And so it is a mirror for you to reflect, to take a look at, and just see what is this all about. See it from a different perspective. That's why they want you hanging upside down from a tree, not literally, but they want you to kind of take a different viewpoint and go, why is this so important to me? Is kind of what I'm hearing there. So hopefully that helped. And we are going to go on to Mr. Fireworks. Hello, friend. And you said a Scorpio. Yes, very good. Yvette, what are her intentions towards you? Okay, let's take a look here. Okay, we had one card pop out here. So you've got the Eight of Cups. Cups are emotions. And look, here's the full moon from today. And Eight of Cups is about moving to a new level of emotions, moving to a new level, like tired of feeling the way they have in the past. So I feel like their intentions from you is they want to experience what you have emotionally, and something like around you with your emotions, how your Scorpio transformational energy that you just burst out, and you're like, wow, look at, they see you evolve and they see you change, and they're really attracted to that, the remaking of yourself, how you've remade yourself over and over again. Because of course Scorpios, you start off as scorpions stinging people, and then you move into evolve and transform to a snake, which still strikes people, but it sheds its skin. It grows and it grows. It's respected for its ability to poison, but it also, has this growth and growth and growth energy around it, which then transforms to an eagle. And as an eagle, you can fly way above the storms. But your keen eyesight, you can see things from a whole new different perspective. You can still swoop down, protect what you care for, what matters to you, but you can just quickly swoop back up and see things from that perspective. And ultimately you transform into the phoenix. You rise into this fiery, beautiful, renewed being that leaves so much behind. And I kind of feel like that energy that they're feeling is like they're just attracted to that emotional evolution that they sense in you. All that. Let me see. They want one more card here. Let's see what else comes in here. Yeah. So you have the Ace of Swords too, which is your ability. It's like you have this power to see things differently in your mind from a different perspective. Like you are connecting to these truths that are so high that just below people's minds, and you've been cutting away. That's part of your transformation, is you cut away thoughts and beliefs that no longer served you, and learn from them, and then you use them to grow and transform. So it's like that attraction. She sees that strength in you of mind and emotion, and it's just like she just wants to, it's almost like she wants to, I don't know if necessarily wants to learn from you, but it's just like she wants to know how did you do that? Because I feel like I need that for me. Now there is a little bit, yeah, definitely. Country of the universe. The I kind of feel though there, what humans do, of course, we tend to sometimes want someone who has what we want. And we're like, well, if I possess them, then I have it. And it's like, no. If we're attracted to something in someone else, then we develop that within ourselves instead of trying to be a cannibal and eat them. And now they're inside of me, and now I, now I possess it. It's like, no. So I don't feel that's very, very strong, but they're just like, be aware of understanding their intentions, that they're attracted to your light, but rather than have you become their light, I feel like this relationship, you help them find the light within themselves. And so I feel kind of like her intentions might be in that, the other realm, but the real purpose is for you to help with that. And of course, everyone's a mirror for us too. So you'll learn about yourself through it too, like we've been saying. So I'd like that. And if you have additional questions with that, pop it down here if you have additional clarification you want. And I will circle back around here. Marie, welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for subscribing. and I will get to yours here in a moment. It looks like I'm gonna murder this. Faujia Asa. Thank you for subscribing to, and you want to know M's current feelings and next actions for you. Okay, let's take a look here. So, what's M's current feelings and next actions? Let's go with current feelings first. Okay. Okay. So we'll start with that because they have the Three of Swords. You see they have sorrow in their heart, and you can see these memories of heartbreak. So if this was a relationship that you had with someone, they do feel this heartbrokenness inside. If it's not, then they are guarded. Their heart is very guarded, and so um, their feelings are very kept very close because they have been hurt before, and they're just like, meh. They're not sure what they want. Let's take a look here and see here what the next actions for you are in here. Okay. Yes, you got 2 3s, so these definitely are together, but you've got this is you. Like, what is your next thing? It's you to stay authentically yourself. Um, I love that coming up there because sometimes when we are attracted to someone else or we're wondering if it's someone that we've been with or something else, we're like, am I going to be swayed by the fear of them being, you know, rejecting us for who they perceive us to be? Or is it someone who thinks highly of us and then we freak out even more because we're like, oh gosh, I don't want to lose that, validation or that attraction or that, them liking me. So we like, oh my gosh, and then we start freaking out and we go into fear and then we stop acting ourselves and we go overboard and we basically uh put on a mask, and it's like they're saying don't do it because that's what broke their heart before, is because someone wasn't who they really were, and they had this whole, like, they invested totally in someone who wasn't anything like they were pretending to be because they wanted them to like them. And so for you, your next action is be authentically you, be totally 100% out there as you, and there's nothing to hide because that is what they're afraid of because they're like still very skeptical about people because it happened more than once to them. I think those 3 swords in their heart were 3 times where they really felt just betrayed and lied to, and so they are very slow in trusting. So your next steps are be you, be trustworthy, and be totally out there and hide nothing is what they're saying. So that there for you. Again, hopefully that resonates. If you want additional clarification, just pop them down and we'll come back around. And let me go on here. Hey, CB15. Thank you for being here. And yeah, if you have a question, and any new people coming in, if just pop them in there. I'm going in order, so I will get there. So if you want a general reading, just say, hey, general reading. If you have a specific question, as a lot of people have, just put the specific question down there. Right. Excellent. Nicole, yeah, just pop your question down below. And now we are to Marie. Happy early birthday. Okay, so it is. Okay. Okay. Great, thank you. Okay, sorry, I was reading all that. You could tell I'm all blah, blah, blah. So, number 1, we'll take a look here and see, does he miss you? Okay. And then will he text you? Okay. And will I ever get married? And do you mean just in general? Or to him? Well, we'll say just general to find out. Okay. And what sign will you meet next? Or will you have a single life? Okay. All right. So I love these cards. So the first question is, does he miss you? So for that, you have the King of Wands here, which for me represents, a lot of fire, a lot of control over their energy. And for me, that means that, let's say this in a nice way, but there's no nice way to say it. It's someone who is, like this fire, they're consumed by their own selves. Like they can't see past the horn on their head. So I feel like they don't miss anyone because they are so like this is them looking at their lives, right? And it's like that's all they see. They don't see you, they only see themselves. And that's like, I don't want to say narcissist, but that's kind of narcissistic in a way, but it's just because they don't love themselves enough to be able to look beyond themselves. So it has nothing to do, they're not happy with themselves on the inside, even though they might be very boastful and very like, hey, I'm all this and powerful and strong and blah, blah, blah. But if you peeled it back, you'd see a hurt little child that is so lonely and doesn't believe half of the stuff that spews out of their mouth. But I feel like they're a very confident, like entrepreneur type of strong person on the outside, but that's not what's going on the inside. So when you ask them when you ask if they miss you, it's like they miss nothing except themselves because they're missing themselves, if that makes sense. And then you asked if they were going to text you, and you had the Four of Cups will show normally. Um, so you have let me see if I can get this to focus here. Maybe, well, she's holding three cups in her hand. There we go. Well, for a second, three cups in her hands, but she's not satisfied with that, you know. Um, and this Ace of Cups is coming from up above. It's not focusing very good there. Maybe that's what it is. It's out of focus. They're like those Three of Cups looking for him for your fulfillment isn't you feel empty with it. What you're really wanting to find is the Ace of Cups, which is the love from above. You get to become a chalice and receive that love that you're searching for from up above. Then you fill up and then it overflows out to the world. So I don't feel like he's going to text you, but I kind of feel like if you did, it wouldn't be, it would be a very like, oh, he texted me and it's going to feel empty. If it excites you for a second, it's going to wear off very quick because it's going to be the same old that you got before, which wasn't fulfilling. It wasn't filling you up. But what I love, we'll move on to other things. When you asked, will you ever get married? Yay! I would say this is a yes. And they might even have some children. Or if you have children already, but it looks like it's going to be instant family when it happens. So they might already have children, so you will either be a stepmom or they will be a step as well. And and you asked, is it uh, what sign will you meet? And it's the two of wands, so it'll be a fire sign, most likely. But they'll have definitely a lot of fire in their chart. They're going to be a very fiery person. You're going to be like, wow, not like them though, because the two of wands is a more balanced, type of energy. So yeah, yeah, yeah. So I do like that. And of course the two of wands coming in with you asking, am I going to be single? It's like, no, you are going to find someone, but the journey for you right now is finding that ace of cups, connecting to the higher realms, the spiritual realms, for that unconditional love, because that's what we're truly hungering for. And we like that four of cups. Those three cups are the outside world, relationships, situations like our jobs, education, and things, our bodies, our possessions, our bank accounts. We're told to look outside of us for those things to make us feel whole and complete. And we eat and drink of those things, and we're like, phew. I used to say it was like Chinese food, where you eat and drink of the outside world and you're hungry an hour later. American Chinese food, anyway. It seems to be like you eat it and you're like, why am I hungry? I just ate an hour ago. And so I kind of feel like that's, what you're wanting to find. And then you fill up with that and overflow. And then anything anybody brings you is extra and you just celebrate it, right? Because one of the big, huge ahas that I learned in relationships is I cannot love anyone else more than to the extent that I love myself. And I cannot accept love from others more than to the extent that I love myself. So if I love myself, like, let's see if I get it, like this much, that's as much as going to drip, no matter how much they flood us drip, and that's only how much love is going to get out there. So I kind of feel like cups is saying fill up with that love and become that self-loving heart, and then that just changes your whole world anyway. So hopefully that resonated. And again, if you have any other questions or clarifications, just pop them down and I will continue down the list and I will get to that. And let me just see here. All right, mystery, welcome. Welcome. Thank you, new person. Yeah, you just ask a question. Oh, there you did ask on there, so I will take a look here. Welcome, Empress Beauty. Thank you for all new individuals coming in. I really appreciate you being here. Happy Pisces full moon. I'm sure all feeling it. Whatever we're focused on emotionally is what is being expanded. So if you don't like what you're feeling, then take a deep breath and focus on the unconditional love above and just let that expand. And then you're like, oh, thank God. So let's take a look here, Mystery. You said, where is your relationship going? Let's take a look here. Okay, Nicole, you'll be next. Thank you all for your patience. Where is your relationship going, Mystery? All right. Oh my goodness. It's going somewhere, evidently. Let's take a look. You got 6 cards that popped out. So you got the Princess of Swords first, which is the Page of Swords in the Standard Tarot. So let me get each of these. Oh, beautiful. So Ten of Cups. That's a very good card. That's all your emotions, and it's all overflowing. And you have the Six of Pentacles. So they want me to start with these 3 first. And so the Princess of Swords or the Page of Swords is about a new mindset, new communication, moving to a higher way of thinking about things. And the Ten of Cups is, basically you just feel this wholeness and this completeness of your emotions. And I kind of feel like it all comes down to the 6 of Pentacles because you have success here too. 6 of Pentacles is what I call the codependency awareness card. And I always admit, so there's no judgment. I'm in a recovering enabler in codependent relationships. So I might have seen you at the meetings, but this is a beautiful awareness that's coming in for you here. So your relationship is heading in a direction where you're you're going to allow it to be an equal giving and receiving type of relationship. But I feel like what you're learning as you're going through it is that you overgive. Like an enabler, we have this belief somewhere in our lives that we're not worth being around unless we're able to give something to someone. And so it scares the crap out of us if we're not able to give to others. And so we give and we give and we give. And it's like the most recent example that I really love is like they say the exchange rate is I have to give 100 of something to them to feel like I deserve one of that back. And so when you go into a relationship, yeah, so you can feel this when you go into a relationship, usually you'll allow them to give and as you're giving to them, but it quickly changes from an adult to an adult to a parent to a child where you're like we become mama daddy birds, and they're the baby bird. We're like, I give to you, and they try to give back. We're like, no, 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 that scares me to death, so don't give to me. Allow me to give, because we want that place of security in their life. We want them to be codependent on us, that we want them to be dependent on us for their livelihood. And so we convince them to let us give and give and give, and we teach them not to give back to us. So we give until we're exhausted, and then we continue to give until we're resentful. And little baby bird, they like to give too, like every other human. How wonderful we feel when we give. They like to, also give. And if we won't allow them to give to us, then they'll become workaholics and give all that energy into their work or working out or a hobby or their friends or other people. If it's like if you're in an intimate relationship, they might go outside for intimacy because they feel like they're not able to give anything to us. We just want to be the one. So the great thing about the 6 of Pentacles, though, is because it's the balancing out, and it's like you're realizing through all of this, oh, I am worthy of receiving from others. I don't have to give to be lovable. I'm lovable just as I am. And I feel like all of this wholeness and this fullness that's coming up here comes from, and I love the way they do this. Let me see if I can get it to focus here. Come on, come on. Oh, there it goes. See how they have the Ace of Cups in their hands and they're pouring it over the other 9 cups? So you can see the Ace of Cups right there. So it fills up like kind of one of those champagne towers at a wedding where they have the champagne, it just overflows. It's like you're discovering this higher love that is like, you know, connected to the spiritual realm, a love that has no conditions. So it's secure. You can't lose it because it only takes one condition to be conditional. And with 0 conditions, you always meet 100% of them. And so you have that love that just fills you up, and then it floods down the rest of your life. And you grasp that, and I kind of feel like that's what this Page of Swords is about, is you're connecting to those capital T truths of the higher realm that are rooted in unconditional love, and it's allowing you to cut away the small t truths of the human world. Thus, all these beliefs we have about all the stuff that you must do in order to be lovable and acceptable and blah 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 blah, right? So this is this movement up in your beliefs and in your feelings of your wholeness and your worthiness is changing with all of that focus up there, and that just changes everything out here because it fills up all these other cups of this world. Let me see what these other 3 cards are. Yeah, the devil card I think has been showing up uh, almost every reading, and this is showing you the traps, all those, thoughts and beliefs. I usually say, like, the devil card is like Dr. Evil in the Austin Powers series, if you have ever watched that. So Dr. Evil, of course, is the villain. Austin Powers, the international man of mystery. And he would always, Dr. Evil try to take over the world, and then Austin Powers would try to stop him, always get caught. And then while he was, in whatever predicament that he was going to end up dying in, Dr. Evil would spill the whole plan. And then, of course, Austin Powers would escape and foil the plan. Well, that's kind of what our shadow does for us. It brings the situations into our life to show us the things that are making us feel trapped and limited and small. And it does it, but then it winks at us and goes, now you can foil the plan. So it brings it to our face, usually not in subtle ways, just all the same information from all over the place. And we realize, okay, this is something that's going on that I want to look into now. And I'm going to foil the regular plan of how I used to do things. Let's see what else is in here. Yeah. You have the Three of Cups. Three of Cups is that you're not alone. You do have your whole posse of support on the other side. All of those guardian angels and spirit guides and loved ones on the other side. The creator, your ancestors, spirit, unicorns, fairies, whatever you believe those beings of unconditional love and light are, they're saying you're not alone in this. And if you feel like you want answers and guidance, all you have to do of your own free will is ask them for that, because they honor your free will and respect it in such a huge way that they will not meddle in your life besides what you asked them to meddle in your life before you came down here. There's always those things. But we, of our own free will, can ask them for support while we're here, and they will give you the answers, give you the guidance. But I really feel like they're calling you to this relationship where, it's like, you're one of us. Come party with us. Come spend time with us, especially full moon tonight, right? But definitely do that. And you have the Two of Wands. So the Two of Wands for you does bring in this power that wherever you focus your energy or your thoughts or your attention is what grows in your life. So I kind of feel like as you focus in on the higher realms and that higher relationship with the spirit world, it's going to expand your love. And the more you focus on what you're grateful for in your life and what you want in your life, that'll expand. And rather than focusing on what's lacking or what you don't want in your life, because when you focus on that, that grows. So when you stop focusing on that and focusing on this grows and this becomes smaller because it's not getting your energy anymore. So I feel like this is a huge time of transformation for you, of growth, emotionally, and your beliefs about yourself. And that, just transforms where you're at. I know your question is, where is your relationship going? I feel like your relationship is going upward. It's like your focus is moving up to expanding that, and that changes everything, because we change from the inside out, and we don't see the world as it is. We see the world as we are. So when we change, suddenly, oh, the world totally transforms and we see it in a completely different way. So I kind of feel like that's where your relationship is going, is it's pointing you to develop that upper relationship, and in doing that, that changes this, relationship. Because as of right now, excuse me, with not allowing them to give back to you and you over giving to them, you will, if not already exhausted, you will be. And if you're not already into resentment mode, you will be. so so there you have it. If you have additional questions, hopefully that resonated, just pop them down below. I will come back around and we will take a look here and see who is next. Yes, Chrissy, you can just pop a question down below and I will come back and get that to there. So let me see here. Okay, was mystery. Okay, and so Nicole, hopefully you're still hanging around here. Thank you so much for your patience. You want to gain your daughter's forgiveness. So you want to know what or how or if you will. So we'll see what spirit wants you to know around gaining your daughter's forgiveness. Okay. Okay. No, they didn't want all those. You're very welcome, mystery. And then Dale, we will get to you after that. So appreciate you. Hopefully you're still hanging around with us here. All right. So, okay. I do want to start with this one. Wow. So I do have the Sun card, which is the most bright and successful, at least the top five, I would say, in the entire deck. So I would say that this is going to be a yes, that a forgiveness will come. And this is the Leo energy too, really has a strong emphasis on inner child. So where I feel the forgiveness is going to come for you from your forgiveness starts within you gaining your own forgiveness, because this situation is an echo from your earlier childhood, and the emotions that flare, the things that keep coming up, they'll come up in different ways throughout your life, but it's your little inner child, usually something emotionally from 7 and under, has been echoing, and your inner child has been just kind of pulling on your shirt, going, "Hey, hey," trying to get your attention, trying to get your attention, trying to get your attention. To where your daughter, whatever happened between you two, has been this culmination of where your inner child brought your daughter in as a messenger for you, bringing this message about this emotion that they want you to look at. And so when you go back and you're able to just kind of sit with whatever emotion you're feeling and find that same emotion from younger, you're able to pick up your inner child. You're able to pick up yourself, and you get to be the parent you always wanted when you were younger, that you never got, that parent that loved you unconditionally, that parent that accepted you unconditionally, that parent that gave you unconditional, unlimited time. And you get to pick up your little child self whenever that situation happened. And it could be several situations, but you just pick up your child. You get to be this beautiful, perfect parent that your inner child always wanted, and you just get to hold yourself. You get to allow your little inner child to just express all that charged emotion it was never able to express when it was younger, because it either didn't know how or it was afraid of. And that's where the healing starts. You get to just hold on to your little beautiful self and just allow this love just to flow into them, and you don't try to fix them or explain them or do anything. All your whole interaction is just to be there with them, allowing them to express it and have the space of unconditional love for them. That's where it starts, because this heals inside, your heart expands, and then magically this your love inside will change for yourself, which allows you to see your daughter even more clearly than you have ever seen her before, because you were only seeing your her through your hurt inner child's eyes. So it's beautiful. There is this wonderful book I just finished reading. If you are looking for more guidance, if you're like, how in the hell do I do that? Zen. It's called The Presence Process. It's Presence process by Michael Brown. I might even have it over here. Yeah. So this is what it looks like. And then it's an absolute amazing life-changing book, because it does help you get into that relationship with your inner child, and it's absolutely amazing. But that's what I feel with that card coming up is like, yeah, you have it, but it starts here, and then you will move forward with that. So that's your next assignment. So hopefully that resonated. If you have additional questions, pop them down below, and we will make our way to that. And so now we are on to Dale. Hopefully, Dale, you are still with us here. And you said that you felt stressed out lately. I know you're probably not alone. um, but you have felt anxiety and you contemplate the future. Okay. So I'll take a look here and see what spirit would like you to know around this anxiety and your fear of the future. And let's just take a look and see what they'd like you to know. Very good. Princess, absolutely. If you would like a reading, just pop your question down below, and I will get to that. All right. So what would you like Dale to know here about their anxiety and as they contemplate the future? Okay. Okay, and then Chrissy, you will be next. All right. So I gave you two. The first card they have for you is Temperance, which is patience, which is balance, and you have the little, see if it'll, the yin yang or yin yang, however you say that there. And you can kind of see how he's this alchemist where he's pouring things back and forth. And for me, this is balancing the heavenly realm with the physical realm. There we go. Eventually it focused. So you have the higher realm is the higher cup, and the cup here by my finger is the human world. And there is this balancing, this understanding of the difference between the two. And let's see what they all say. Oh my gosh. I tell you, seriously, the devil card has almost come out in every single reading almost. So there is this, and that represents the fear. It's like, oh, something bad is happening, but there is this adventure I want to say that you're on, and it's huge because you've got two major arcana. These are not the suits; these are major arcana, which represent a huge um, movement forward. And you've got card number 14 followed by card number 15. So you have this wonderful unfolding of things that is happening in order. I feel like their message, a huge one for you, is that everything happens on purpose for a purpose. With the yin yang there, it is uh, the darkness, and here's the devil showing up. The darkness, the shadow is in the light, and the light is in the shadow. It's all part of one beautiful adventure that we're all on. We come here on purpose to experience the opposite of who we are back home. That's the whole yin yang too, where we are ultimately these powerful, supernatural, eternal spirit beings that are made of unconditional love. And we come here in this human character to experience what it might feel like to be the opposite of all that. To be unconditional love up there, conditional love down here, joy up there, sadness down here, peace up there, chaos down here. And so really getting to understand what it is that we're fearing is a huge thing. I'm not sure where you are at in your spiritual walk and your spiritual connection, but I feel like especially when they have the cup up above pouring down, it's like that is like your next step. That is your opening up of your heart and your mind and your life to the spiritual. And in the earlier, when we first started this session of readings, there was this, um, you know, focusing on the higher things. That doing that is what opens up, our entire world here. And I feel like the anxiety that's coming is because you're trying to control all these things that are outside of your control, right? Well, if you're trying to control other people's emotions, which we're all kind of taught when we're growing up, that other people's emotions and actions are our responsibility. And it's like, nope, it ain't. It's trying to herd cats. Good luck with that, right? Because you can give someone the entire world and they could still choose to be unhappy. So I feel like, I'm hearing the phrase, it's you get to sweep in front of your own door. You don't have to go sweep all 20 houses on your block. You get to focus on you. You get to come back to you, to your own front door. You get to look and see the power that you have, the power of choice, which is any moment you get to choose what story you apply to anything in the outside world. You get to choose what emotion you feel uh, about what's going on in the outside that you see. And I know, and I talked about it a little bit at the beginning where I was like, I don't feel like I'm making a choice, that things happen and this is how things happen and this is what I think it means. But Spirit did take us back to, our earlier childhood when we are given all these popular opinions on what something is supposed to mean and how I'm supposed to feel. And we're take it in as our own. Eventually, it becomes our own opinion because it keeps getting repeated to us over and over again. And then eventually, it becomes our habit to think and feel a certain way. And that becomes our reaction, where it just happens so quick that we don't realize that's what's happening. But we can change that. It's a habit, and we can take time, and especially realizing our power that every moment is either of unconditional love or the fear of losing conditional love, and we have that power each moment to choose what emotion we want to pull from, what bucket we want to pull from out of an emotion, what story we want to pull, and really gaining this power that we get to decide what anything means for my life. People will have their opinions, and that's okay. They can have those. We have our own opinions too, but we don't try to force our opinions on others, and other people, when they try to force theirs on ours, we're like, okay, but we don't have to take it on as our own. And an emotion, we don't have to take that on. We get to choose what those are for us. There's this great story about this family was on this, vacation. They had three young boys in the back. The youngest was like 2, and he was in the middle between his older brothers. And he was picking on him back and forth, back and forth. I'm not touching you. I'm not touching you. And finally, the parents, because they were all arguing and stuff, they said, come up here. And they put him up in the front seat, and he was standing up. He wouldn't sit down. They're like, we can't go till you sit down and put on your seatbelt. And he was like, no, I'm not going to sit down. And then they threatened him, of course. You better sit down. We're going to take away all your toys. And he was like, so he sat down and he said, I may be sitting down on the outside, but I'm standing up on the inside. And that's, people can try to make us do what we don't want to do, but they can never change what we are choosing on the inside, right? So I feel like that's where a lot of the fears are coming from is, in this day and age, we can feel so out of control of what's going on in the outside world. And there's so little that is in our control out there, but we control our entire world inside here. And that's where they want you to kind of focus and start in and looking into that. So hopefully that helps a little. If you want additional clarification, go ahead and pop any clarifying questions down there, and I'll be happy to answer those. I do want to move on to Chrissy. Thank you so much for your patience. And who is coming towards you in love? You're a single Libra. All right. Let's take a look here and see what Spirit would like you to know, Chrissy. Thank you all for being here. This is part of my YouTube subscriber marathon, as you probably have read. Um, and if you have not signed up for the giveaways that I have going on, I do have links down in the description box about some current giveaways that I have going on. So be sure to check those out, and you could win some readings and some special Astro readings that I have coming out too. All right, Chrissy. Okay. Well, they gave me two cards. The first one, I love this. This came out earlier too when someone was asking about love, and you can see how in the outside world you are ready to move into a higher level. You've been doing the works. You can see all these are little hearts that are growing. So your love has been growing. I kind of feel like you've been doing a lot of good inner work about yourself and how you feel about yourself. And through that process, that's what's been growing and preparing you for this next level. Because after the Eight of Pentacles comes the Nine of Pentacles, which is wish fulfillment. So you are headed in this direction. Love is coming towards you, but who? You got the Four of Swords. So swords are your thoughts, your beliefs, your mindsets, your attitudes. This is peace of mind, which is great. And I kind of feel like this is about letting expectations go. Because the Three of Swords, usually they'll have like three swords up on the wall and they're sleeping on the Ace of Swords, which the Three of Swords is the heartbreak card, the disappointment card, what I call the expectations card. And I kind of feel like this, they're saying that when you let the expectations go, then that's when it comes, and we always love that message. I know, like, when you don't focus on it, that's when love will find you. Screw that. But that's what they're saying, about letting the expectations go. Continue to work and grow on your inner love. That's expanding. Look how fast it's growing, and you are headed in that direction. Let me see what else they have to say though here. Okay. Wonderful. So you do have the Six of Swords. Some more thoughts, more beliefs that are going on, but Six of Swords is great because it's all about moving from one way of thinking to moving to another way of thinking. So this is great because it just shows you that you're really coming to this beautiful place of this peace of mind. You're letting old, like you usually have, they have the old Three Swords. You have old expectations falling away as you're moving into new ways of thinking. And so I kind of feel like that's what you've been doing a lot of to help you get into this beautiful, expansive self love that's been growing, this self worth that's just been growing and powerful. Look at another, you have a Three of Wands here. Come on. There it goes. So the Three of Wands, this is your drive, your ambition, your passion, your inspiration, your overall energy. And the Three of Wands is showing that you are making changes into a different direction in your life as well. As you're making these changes in your mind and your priorities and what you're expecting out of life, it is switching things. Yeah. Because it's the Princess of Pentacles. So new opportunities. And Princess of Pentacles does represent a newer, higher uh, self-worth and how you're perceiving yourself in relation to the outside world. So this is definitely what is going on here for you. Yeah. And you have the Wheel of Fortune. So your life is changing, things are coming, you are moving to a different level in the outside world. And the 10 is endings and new beginnings coming in. So um, you do have these fated events that are headed your way on purpose, for a purpose. And I really love just the energy that you have, that you've been doing such great self-care. You've been really evaluating who you are, what you want, kind of almost have the list of how you feel about yourself, what you love about yourself. And then I kind of have this little where you're making a list of who you would want to have in your life as a partner. And what I'm hearing from them about that is make that list. Make that list of who you think your perfect partner would be. What do you desire to find in that other person? If you haven't done that already, I almost feel like you have, but if you haven't done that already, do that. And try not to remember what I'm about to tell you till after you're done. Spoiler alert. So maybe if you don't want to know what I'm about to say, you can come back to this video after you've done that. So if you haven't done that yet, then pause and then come back to this video at this moment, at this exact time. 1:40:41 is what it said. 1 hour, 40 minutes, and 41 seconds. Because what you're looking for in someone else is what you can find within yourself. So they're saying that is the focus. And they have nothing else. They said, and that's it for now. But that makes sense too. Being Libra, you're in your mind a lot about your thoughts and your beliefs. And so I know it's probably maybe not what you wanted to exactly hear, but it's what you wanted to hear, really, down in here. All right. So I think I'm actually all caught up. If anyone else who has joined, if you want to ask a question, you can pop them down below. And if no one asks anything here in a moment, then I am going to pull some cards for those of you who do not want to share it. Oh, very good. So Helene, you're a singer-songwriter. I love you expressing your heart to the world. It definitely needs that. So will your music video do great? You got the death and rebirth card, which I really focus in on the picture. It's like from the ashes, a whole new, beautiful, it's like a rebirth. And I really feel that this means success for you. And I almost kind of feel like in the telling me like a remix of it, it really is just going to like just like go really really big. So it's like your original one is good and the music video and everyone likes it, but then like it's like you get this creative thing to do a remix in a whole different way with a different twist, and people are just like, oh my gosh, they like that even more so. So I really love that. Very cool. Do you already have your music video created? If you do, post a link. We will all check it out. So I love that for you. And hey, my blessings. Let's see. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for subscribing to my channel. Just pop a question down there, and I'm happy to definitely pull some cards for that. Oh, awesome. Very good. Yeah, I love that. You're going to have a phoenix in it now? Phoenix rising. Woo! Right, well, my blessing, while you are typing your question there, I do want to pull a Power of Surrender card here. Yes, rising from the ashes. It's very Scorpio energy. Right, very good. I will pull that question here. I'm just going to pull this card here first, and then I will take a look at that question, blessing. All right. I feel like this is for someone who has not asked a question, which is surrender to passion. There it goes. And it says, get out of your head and feel the fire in your belly. Focus on the people or activities that ignite your passion and let it flow out of your mind and into your heart and let that passion come out. All right, Blessing, let's take a look here. So, will you meet your true life partner? Do you feel you've met a fake life partner? I'm sure we all have felt that way. X number 1, X number 2, X number 3. All right. So, what would you like Blessing to know about their true life partner? Yes. Join the club. All right. So, let's take a look here. So, you've got the Ace of Swords here, which means new communication coming in. So, brand new communication. New ideas coming in too. Let's see what that's about, though. You have the Seven of Pentacles. Okay, this is making sense, which was failure before, but I'll get to that in a moment. I'm going to see if this other card is here too. Okay, yeah. So you have the Queen of Swords. I almost feel like that surrender card was for you, because the Queen of Swords is all about balancing heart and mind. So I kind of feel like the surrender to passion might have been for you as well. But what I'm really seeing here is that because of those past experiences, you have the Seven of Pentacles coming in, which you're tired of going in circles. You're tired of ending up with the same old, same old. And when we did what we've always done, we get what we always got. So I feel like you are making these huge changes. Hey, Whitney. You have this change of the way you're looking at things. The Seven of Pentacles is this, it's like you suddenly see the fruit growing on trees and you're like, oh, I planted apple trees, didn't I? And you're like, why did I, plant apple trees? And then you're like, oh, because everyone told me I should grow apple trees. That's what I should like. That's who I should like, right? In this case, the scenario is that. But then when the apples started to grow, you're like, I don't even like applesauce. I don't like apples. I want guacamole. I want to grow an avocado tree. And I kind of feel like you're doing this switch up. You're really realizing all the circles that you went in before and where you went around is, like you considered them failures, but like any great inventor, uh, you didn't fail at finding what you were looking for. You just found 100 different ways that it didn't work, which now you don't have to waste energy on that anymore. So I really feel, especially because the Queen of Swords wields the Ace of Swords, that you are moving to this new way of thinking about yourself and what you want to do, where you want to go, who you want, what you want, just all of that. And you're just like, I am ready to, become the queen, and I don't need a king. I am going to be this powerful, individual, balancing my heart after what I want, and I'm getting rid of all the, thoughts about apples and apple trees. So I'm like, no, just say no to apples. I want guacamole. And so that's what I'm going to go after, because that's what I want. I don't care what everyone else thinks that I should want. I'm going after that. And I kind of feel like that's what you're going through here. So, when, you're asking, will you meet your true partner? Yeah, I really feel like you will, but I feel like this is the process of, like, not when you keep doing what you've always done, because you're going to get what you always got. So it's like this change up and this passion, and I do really strongly feel that when this said, get out of your head and feel the fire in your belly, focus on the people or activities that ignite your passion, and then let that flow. Don't keep doing the safe stuff and what everyone else was saying. Follow your heart and your passion. Do what you love. And I really feel like when you're doing what you love, that's where you find someone that has that same thing in common. And then you're just like, boom, wow, awesome. It's like, but you're doing things that you love first and you're changing that whole mindset and how you're, going in that direction. So I feel like, yes, when we say our true life partner, I I I feel like we all have divine appointments. Like I had 5 exes and I've been single for, oh my God, I want to say how long, but I know every single one of them was a teacher for me, and they were divinely in my life on purpose, for a purpose, always reflecting back to me what I wanted to see about myself until I saw it, and then afterwards, when I was going through it, I didn't think they were teachers at all. I thought they were the devil card. But afterwards, I'm like, wow, I learned so much from them. So, yeah. That's not bad. Yeah, so I feel like that's what it is, what the next, step is. Get out of your mind, into your heart, let all the apple trees go, focus on avocados. Growing what you want in your life, and then the rest unfolds. So I love that. So if you have more questions, just pop them down below and I'll come back around. Great, Whitney. I am doing very well. I'm surviving and thriving during this Pisces full moon because I'm a Pisces moon and I have like 5 total planets in Pisces. I'm like loving it. Hope you are well as well. All right, baby love. Yes, I can still take questions. And okay, and thank you. Perfect. So you did ask that here. Great, Marie. Oh, I'm glad that helped as well. I know so much that we witness from other people. I mean, I learned so much from the messages that come through. I'm like, oh, was that for me too? And they're like, what isn't for you, Brother Zen? So let's see. Baby love, is now a good time to purchase your first home? Let's take a look here. What would you like to see? Okay. They actually want me to pull from the sample for you for that. I love how like I'm all busy focusing on the tarot cards, and I feel like they're going, look over here. I'm like, oh, those? Okay. Wow, you got sanctuary. Come on, card. I know you want to focus. Maybe. Oh, there we go. Sanctuary. I feel like that's going to be that would be a yes, finding your sanctuary. But it says the creatures and mystical beings of the forest know that the meadow at the center of the woods is a safe space where one can truly relax and feel comforted. When you step into this luminous meadow, it's not uncommon to see animals such as deer curled up along sleeping bears, foxes, and rabbits lounge side by side. Unicorns, fairies, and elves all gather in the mystic meadow. You feel relaxed, healthy, and clear. This card appears as a reminder to replenish your inner resources. It's time to renew your energy and make tending to your own needs a priority. Practice extreme self-care. Protect yourself from less than positive influences in your life. The message here is to take shelter. Retreat into your home or spend time in places and with people where you feel at home. Mend physical objects, organize your possessions, and heal relationships. There is the possibility of a huge spurt of energy in the future, but unless you take this time to create foundations and nourish yourself, you might be overwhelmed by it all and miss the opportunities available to you later. This card can also mean that blooming and expansion are at hand, flowering success awaits you. Healing energy is growing, and beautiful things are to come. The spirit of the mystic meadow says, draw nourishment from the wellspring inside you. Be a sanctuary for others. Go within and listen to the voice of your soul. Access your divine guidance. If you've been struggling or pushing, take time off. Retreat, rest, and relax. Take a vacation or embark on a retreat. So I really feel like that is a yes, that it's time to find your sanctuary, whatever that means for you. And it doesn't necessarily mean, because you said that to purchase your first home, um, I really feel like taking a retreat, getting away from things, really looking and going, what do you consider what feels like home? That is your sanctuary. If you feel like purchasing a home is what will make you feel like home, then do that. If it's going to stress you out and take away your health, then I would say no. But I really feel like whatever makes you feel like home, and I kind of feel like your heart is so huge that it becomes a sanctuary for others too. But you can do that with anything. It doesn't necessarily have to be a purchased home. I mean, you could even make a one bedroom, one room apartment a sanctuary for people because it's your presence and your home is where your heart is. But I feel like they're saying if it's purchasing a home is what makes it feel like home, and that's your sanctuary, then boom. Um, and if you mean like right now, today, let me clarify here. Um, as far as timing, oh, okay. Now they want me to pull a numerology card. So we'll take a look here. All right. So what about timing? Okay. Yeah. So they have health here, and that really came apparent in that other one. It's like focus on your self care. So if you're like, I could do it, I might have to work a part time job to make ends meet, and da 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 da. Then I'm like, you need to focus on you and your health, and really look at what does home mean. Do you need a home? Because I kind of have this thing in the back of my head about the housing market, and like it's like pause, like not today, but focus on your health, get everything, you know, focus on you, and then and take time out. Like I said, they're like take time away, find out what you really want, and what that home means. Now a tarot card? Okay, now a tarot card. I'm like, come on now. Give me two. Mm, yeah, because here it comes in 10 of Wands. Seal that burden. I kind of feel like if you purchase a home, um, you're gonna feel just like all this financial strain and responsibility, and I feel like you're stressing over it. Because you have the justice card here, and so you do have balance coming in here. There it goes. So she has the ace of swords in the middle, which is about her connecting to higher truths, understanding things from a higher perspective, and cutting away all those. Okay, now I know what they were trying to tell me, which I wasn't totally getting. It's like, oh, you take time away to understand the difference between what you really want, what your passion really is, and what are the expectations that you've taken on from others. It'd be like someone gave you a dream and saying, your dream is this, and you took it on going, oh, okay, and so you were like, well, this is what I should want, but you really I feel like taking some time away allows you to really understand and balance out what it is that you really want in your life. Do you really want to purchase a home, or do you like what that represents, like what other people said it would represent? And I'm for some reason reminded of a story. Someone is actually almost engaged to be engaged once, and when we were looking at rings, they were like, "I want to," I was actually going to become a missionary. This was like decades ago, and they were okay. We were gonna, thinking of becoming a missionary over like overseas and third world countries, and we are just gonna get bands because then, you know, uh, that was enough because we didn't want to, put all this money into all that. Well, they actually started telling their friends about it, and they were like, "Oh no, you need a big old ring because that represents the love they have for you." And and I was like, "Oh, I thought me being faithful and, us pursuing all this and doing all that is what would show my love for you, not the size of the ring on your finger," which I had this kind of fear in the back of my mind back then that that ring that they would cut your finger off to get that ring off because that would feed your entire tribe for a year. And but there's like the belief that was like, that this is what people said, this is what it meant, this is what that, this what it represents, and clarification that's coming through on that for you. I'm not sure why they had me tell you that entire story, but there it is. So I know that's not like a yes or no. They kind of went, well, yeah, if this is sanctuary and stuff, but they're like, but is that what you really want? Is that really what that means for you? So if you have more clarification you want, just pop it down below here. And hey, Jasmine, thank you. What's coming in love? Pretty please. Absolutely. Let's take a look here and what they have for you here. Thank you, everyone who's joined. Happy Pisces full moon to you all. I know it was at like 4 o'clock this morning or something around that time, but you're still feeling it. I know you are. All right. So, Jasmine, what about love? Well, first, you've got this temperance coming in. This beautiful balancing card has been showing up quite a bit, but not as much as the devil card. But you didn't get it this time so far. So you got the balancing of the upper and the lower. This wonderful patience coming in here. I know we kind of really enjoy that, but it is about balance. Things are coming. Things are flowing. And you have the 5 of Cups, and I feel like, you know, um, disappointment. So you've had some disappointments here in past relationships, and I kind of feel like the patience is that you're working through this. And I actually feel like you just need permission to feel your feelings, that you don't have to feel bad about feeling any of the emotions that came from any of those because it's what we came here for, to experience all those emotions that are related to fear, because we don't get to feel those back home. It's kind of like this is a giant amusement park of fear rides, and we're like, oh my gosh, did you hear about these trail rides? Oh my gosh. And this one that stabs you in the back. It's really cool. We come down here to experience all these emotions that are so uncomfortable because it's not what we feel back home. But we also have this belief that's given to us, right? That you're not supposed to feel those things, especially if you're spiritual. You're not supposed to feel the bad emotions. It's like, no, that's why the 5 of Cups card was created, right? Because it wants us to look at those, reflect on them, and feel them. But you always have the power that comes at the end of it with these 2 cups above my finger here. which is we realize through the process that we have this power to choose what emotion we want to feel in any situation, and that every moment of every day is a choice between unconditional love or the fear of losing conditional love. It doesn't say don't feel this. It's just letting us know that there's always another option when we're sick and tired of feeling sick and tired. We can feel emotions of unconditional love, of joy, peace, patience. Not patience. Patience is um, well, patience, I guess, is a something we have on the other side because we're eternal. We have all the time, and there's no time there, right? So it's like this wonderful experience and power that's coming in through the reflection here and feeling your emotions. But when you feel the darker, fear-based emotions, the uncomfortable emotions, knowing you always have another choice makes it not as scary to feel them, right? If we feel like, if I'm going to feel depression or disappointment about that, I don't want to feel that because I get stuck in it. It's like, no, when you realize your power, you can switch it at any time. Because you also have the King of Wands here. And regardless if you're male or female or how we identify, we all have divine masculine, divine feminine energy. And this King of Wands is like, boom, you have all your power. You hold the Ace of Wands in your hands. You are the one that controls your energy, and you can switch it at any moment and what you're wanting to do with that. So I really feel like what's coming in love for you is that it's like this time, kind of like you're in this void for a moment, so you can feel those feelings and let them and not bring them into your next relationship. It's like you get to feel the feels, you get to throw something across the room, you can cry, you can eat some ice cream or whatever, we can do what we want to do and feel those emotions, feel that anger, feel the resentment, feel it, but allow it to flow out of us. And so when you're holding it all in, it's just festering, and you don't want to. It's almost like they're showing me you ate some bad oysters earlier in the day, and if you don't let them out, when you go on your date that night, you're just going to throw up on them. So, so there you go. So I feel like for now, but you hold all the power in your hands with this. And the time now is for you to go ahead and take this pause, this void that's happening, and feel those feels. You have permission to do it. But you also have the power to switch when you're ready. When you're like, okay, I got that out, and now I'm ready to move on to that next one. So hopefully that resonated there. If you have additional questions, just pop them down below. And now we're going into the next one is soul magnetism. And then we'll go, Marie, you'll be next. And then Katie, you can just pop your question down there because I'm going in order. So you get your question in there, and then I will get to you after Soul and Marie. So, and welcome, Soul. You're new. So thank you so much for joining and subscribing. And Stephanie, that's one of my niece's names. What is your current love energy situation? Okay, let's take a look here. And thank you all for your patience as I go through these. Spirit sometimes isn't short and quick. They like to go on sometimes. All right. So first you have the Seven of Swords, which the Seven of Swords are your thoughts, your beliefs, your mindsets, your attitudes, sometimes known as like the deception or thievery card. But this is about you are moving up and understanding this, what your thoughts and what your beliefs are limiting you and keeping you feeling small and feeling the way that you are. But you have the Four of Cups too, which is beautiful because cups are your emotions. And the Four of Cups, fours are a very solid foundation. Think of like a table with four legs. It's four big legs on a table. It makes for a very solid foundation. So it's like you have emotional stability coming in through this. through this process here. So the energy I feel like you're going through, and especially right now with this huge full moon we have today, we're all feeling emotion like expanded. But I feel like this is a perfect time for you to look into, what am I feeling and what belief do I have around that's generating that emotional feeling? Why do I feel that way? Why do I think that? Why do I think this way about me? Why? I just feel like you're in your head about a lot of questions around your beliefs. Um, and, but the emotional stability is really coming in. I mean, the Four of Cups is an amazing card. Let me see if I can get it to focus here. Maybe. There you go. So see on the moon, there's a cup falling from the sky. It's like this emotional connection that you have during this Pisces full moon. A lot of you can connect to a higher love because you see she has the three cups in her hands, which is all the cups that she has been told to drink of in the outside world to make her feel whole and complete and emotionally um, just filled up. But it's like you can see she's kind of like frustrated. These are not filling me up. I'm kind of bored with it all. But the Ace of Cups from above, it's like the higher, the deeper love that you're searching for, you're going to find in here. And then you become that chalice. You fill up and it overflows out. But I kind of feel like, especially I just noticed that it said futility up here, which is kind of the same energy as this. So I kind of feel like your current love energy right now is you're just like, what's the use? That what I've tasted out there, do I really like it? Or do I just eat it because I only think that's the only thing that's on the menu? And then you realize you flip over the menu and you're like, oh, there's a whole dinner section. I was just doing the lunch specials. So I kind of feel like there's this, you're figuring things out about yourself and your beliefs about what you want and who you want and what they are supposed to be like. You're just realizing all this stuff. And it's like, what? Why do I keep ordering off the same menu? Because it seems, futile and not satisfying. And you're like, I'm ready to turn the menu over. Let me see what's in here. Do some investigation. So they're getting weird now. So hopefully that helped their soul. And let's, if you have more questions, pop them down below. And we'll take a look here. Summary. Let's take where's the money? Show me the money. So let's take a look here. What about the money? Money. Okay. So you have two cards around the money. You have the Six of Wands, which is your energy. And this is the recognition card. And then you have the King of Cups, who, again, another full moon, who holds the Ace of Cups, the chalice. The King, of course, rules over their emotions. And I kind of feel like, so the Six of Wands represents where you're looking for your recognition from. What does victory mean to you? And the King of Cups is about understanding and really looking over your emotions and understanding what's going there. And the combination of the two just really is this, they keep on pointing to this, we look for our satisfaction, we look for our wholeness, our completeness, our, it's like we like that, the recognition from the outside world, and then we get it and we're like, that's it, I did all of that and that's all I get. It's so empty, right? And because the Six of Wands is this transformation, this movement from looking from recognition from the outside world, from looking for recognition higher from above. One of my favorite cards shows someone singing in front of an audience, and the people down below are all these ghosts. They're like transparent, and they're looking up at the spotlight, which comes from, source from the heavens, and they're singing to the heavens. They're not singing to the crowd because the crowd is empty. It's like they can see through it, right? And the King of Cups is, this is the chalice. This is the Holy Grail. This is the unconditional love from above. This is the, very powerful. Um, it's like what we want to drink from. It's the life-giving waters. It's like, they're showing me the Indiana Jones when he was in search of the Holy Grail, which is what they gave him, everlasting life. Like that's what they were pursuing. But when, of course, the evil person that had followed him in, um, held him at gunpoint, because after he found the Holy Grail, then they had all these ones to choose from, and the old knight that was protecting it said, "Choose wisely." And the person grabbed the one that they thought was the one, and then they died, right? In the cup that is really what you're looking for, like the money, the financial stress and all that. It's like, what do you really want? What are you really searching after? What is really going to make you feel fulfilled? And maybe there's things in your life that you're like, you know what? I don't need all this. I can totally get rid of stuff that I don't need. I can totally downsize even. And they're not saying all that. They're just giving me examples of how we can make a choice in our life. Do I want to work harder and need more money, or do I want to simplify and things become easier? Um, so I kind of feel like they're like these pauses that we have in love and money and everything else. I mean, this is for all of us, right? That we're like, no, I don't need that. I can choose differently. And so I kind of feel like that's kind of what they're, doing there. But let's see if they will let you know. Will you meet him this year or next year? When I was pulling cards for you, I didn't feel this year. I felt like it was after this year. So let's see, is it 2023? Oh, balance, balance, balance. They're not. They're saying it's important for you to balance the heavens and the earth. There's like no initials, no time frame. They're like, just go with the flow. That is kind of the message. Yeah. Six of Swords, change of mindset, movement from one way of thinking to another. That's your journey right now. They're like, focus on the boat that you're in. Usually there's like the Six of Swords will show a boat with someone in it with three swords and three swords, and it's like movement from choppy waters to soft waters, and it's all about movement and change of thought. So they are not budging. Marie. So let's take a look here. And so Katie, you are next. Will Jordan want to give us another try, or is he interested in someone else? Oh, okay. Let's take a look. Thank you, everyone, for your questions. I know I've been on for a couple hours, but I'm going to hang out because I'm feeling this beautiful Pisces energy. So we'll hang out here. And so just put your questions below. Thank you all for all you new subscribers. And please know that I do have a ton of giveaways that I'm giving away, and I do have the link down in the description box. So if you haven't checked those out, make sure to go check out those videos, because you could win personal readings and some other things as well. So let me take a look here. So for you, Katie, we have that there's this hanged man who's seeing things from a different perspective. And then you also have the Queen of Cups, which the Queen of Cups represents our emotions. And of course, in addition to rolling over the water, she gets double water because all the queens get water, an extra helping of water. So I feel like this is telling you to trust your gut and trust your intuition and see things from this different perspective. Um, yeah, let me see here. I feel like I want to get a clarifier in here too because okay, they evidently wanted to have a clarifier here. Yeah. See, here's the disappointment. Yeah. So that pretty much tells us there. It's like because this disappointment, is you looking at those situations there. But I really feel like because this is Hangman also represents change and movement, and I kind of feel like you know that, and I almost feel like it's like you don't want another try when you really get truthfully and honest with yourself. Um, I feel like that you don't want to be back with them, but that yeah, with that disappointment card, I kind of that's what I feel is like if you were wanting him back, that it's disappointing because uh, his interests lie elsewhere. He's also I kind of feel like he's the hanged man in a way too. Like he's seeing things in a different perspective, and he's just wanting its movement into a new direction. But I kind of feel like it's for both of you. It's like you were together to learn what you were going to learn, to feel and have this opportunity to feel these disappointments, but it's taught you so much about yourselves. But it's about moving on to other things because I don't feel like there's I don't feel like it can be recovered. It will never be the same, and it's not again, they keep on pointing you back to your heart and to your intuition. It's like you have a strong intuition, and they go, already, but I feel like deep down inside, you're like, I really don't want them back, but it's about moving on and seeing yourself from a different perspective too. Because if you feel you can't do any better, you're wrong. Yeah, I know. But feel the feels. It's important for you to feel the feels, like that 5 of cups. Yeah. But for how long, when we want them to want us back. And then we talked earlier about when we do what we always did, we get what we always got. And then we're like, I really don't want that anymore. You know, there's more for you in life. And it's important for you to, this is an important time of reflection, because of the 5 of cups. She's looking at the sea and looking at the water, and she's gets to see herself for what it was. She gets to see what the relationship was for what it was, and you get to see what the other person was for who they were. And hindsight and higher perspective, you get to see it, and you're just like, you know what? Now I see. And right now you're in the middle of it. And it's important for you to feel the feelings, but like, guaranteed a month from now, you'll look back and go, yeah, not what I really want. And I feel like this next month for you is a huge thing. But I know it can be sad when a relationship doesn't work out the way that our human side wanted it to. But please know that anything that happens in your life does happen for you. I know it's hard to hear that now because we feel like life happens to us, and that when people do those things and our heart is aching, that we feel like people are doing something to us. But we will eventually look back and we can see that it happened for us. I'm hearing a country song, thank God for unanswered prayers. So I think it's George Strait, was it? I don't know. But there's a country song that they're playing in my head right now. I thank God for unanswered prayers, because later you look back and go, that could have been me in that relationship with that person, and I'm glad it's not. So hang in there, Katie. It will get better. Trust me. We've all experienced deep heartaches, and we always will, I think, as we're humans until we eventually return back home where there is no more pain. But we came down here on purpose for a purpose. So, all right. So, thank you. I'm going to move on here. If you have additional questions, throw them down below because I have a lot of questions here. So, thank you, everyone, for mentioning. Sorry, putting questions down here. So let me take a look here. Let me scroll back a little bit. All right. So, my baby love, hopefully you're still here with me. Thank you so much for your patience. What was the lesson and reason behind you having your identity stolen? Ugh, I know those are always exciting adventures. So, you have the Prince of Swords, which is the Knight of Swords in the Standard Tarot. And you also have the Three of Pentacles. So, the Knight of Swords, all knights have a quest that they go after, right? And of course, the Knight of Swords is after the Ace of Swords, which is higher truths, real truths, capital T truths of the higher world that are related to unconditional love in the higher realms. And it also allows you to slice away the small t truths of the human world, our fears, and all those things we're taught to believe about ourselves. The Three of Pentacles is also a card about authenticity and about being able to be the authentic you. So it's interesting that these cards came up because it sounds like they're saying, and what they're telling me is this is your stolen identity in the outside world. It was a message for you about the stolen identity of your inner self, how you're not being your authentic self. You're being who everyone else was telling you you're supposed to be and should be and need to be and have to be. You're doing the job and all this other stuff you were told you were supposed to be and should be and need to be. And this stolen identity was a way for your higher self and the higher realms to let you know that your true identity has been stolen because you're being someone who you really don't want to be. There's someone inside of you that wants to express itself, wants to be true to itself in the outside world. And so this situation came and about your identity being stolen. They're like, yeah, your identity has been stolen because you're pretending to be this character that you were, so inundated with all these beliefs. Again, those expectations, the supposed to be, the should be, the need to be, the have to be. And so this is how they got your attention because that's what you wanted. You signed up for it. They're showing me a piece of paper with your signature going, still my identity on such and such date. So it'll make me realize this by really stressing me out and freaking me out. And this is really going to get my attention. They're like, okay, sign here, initial here, initial here, initial here. Are you really sure? Initial here. And so, we were just talking about it is happening for you. Um, and it's to help you really connect to your true identity, which is a powerful eternal spirit being that's made of unconditional love. So very interesting. Well, so thank you for your patience if you did hang around for that there. And let me just scroll back here. I apologize. Let me see. I want to make sure I pass someone over, I think. Let me see here. Oh, no. Okay, there it was. And then Aaron Steele. Hopefully you're still here, Aaron. Yes. Will your book be successful? Will you make money from it? Okay, let's take a look. Let's take a look here. So, will your book be successful? Will it make some dinero? We got the Four of Pentacles. So, let's see if it can make it. Come on. Focus in, please. Well, he's holding coins in his chest there, and he has four castles over here. Fours are a very solid number, so that's a very stable number. And Pentacles is your abundance, is your outside world. It's also how you relate your worth to the outside world. So I feel this is telling you that it brings you stability, so it will do well, and it will bring you money in. I didn't get like the 10 of Pentacles, which doesn't mean you may not make on this book anyway the New York bestsellers list and get millions from it, but you will get a nice foundation from it, so you will get some income from it. Yeah. And here we go. We have Six of Wands, so you have victory. So does show represent success. So I would say yes, Aaron. So very good. Is it already out and published? Are you working on it? If you've already published it, throw a link down below. We'll check it out. So hopefully that brought you what you were looking for. And then soul magnetism, let's see here. Okay. So I'm not sure if that was an additional question. So if you did, let me see. So you said you feel the energy of your past so strong, it's like a pull, and why they are both in a committed relationship with kids. Yeah. Okay, so the reading did resonate with you then. So hopefully that answered your question there. But I'll continue looking here. Maybe you restated it down below. All right, Melissa, welcome. What does Spirit want you to know about what you have had on your mind? Significant amount today. Okay. All right, let's take a look here. Well, so 10 of Swords. Swords are your thoughts, your beliefs, your mindsets, your attitudes. This is about endings and new beginnings, letting all those thoughts go. Let's see what the other one was. Okay. Yeah. So very clear message. Six of Swords, which is leaving old thoughts behind, moving into new ones. These are old. So by these cards, I would say that those are what's been on your in your mind. These are all about mind and thought. So definitely, it's small t truths of the ego of the human world, speaking and whispering in your ear, and they're basically saying let those go and move on to higher thinking, different thinking. Yeah. So let the thoughts go. Let that go is what I'm hearing. Very good. And then Kaylin, I am doing very well. I hope you're doing very well too and still hanging out here. And Kaylin, let me see here. You want to know how Elijah is currently feeling? Okay, let's take a look here and see what they'll tell you here. Okay, and Aaron, I'm sorry, I missed your follow-up question there. I'll hit that next here. So, Kaylin, how is Elijah currently feeling? Feelings. Okay. Uh-oh. Ending and new beginning. Something, something's on fire. Let's take a look here. Well, yeah, because then you have Three of Wands, which is about change. I know, sorry, Kaylin. But you have Nine of Cups too. So what I feel, because I kind of feel like, this is um, something's being removed out of your life on purpose for a purpose, and something's being brought into your life. And the Three of Wands represents a change of energy and a change of direction. But I also feel you have the Nine of Cups, which is the wish fulfillment card, which is happiness and joy coming in. So I kind of feel like, when you're asking about them, that there's been this change, there's this switch of direction, but in the end, it's going to be for your benefit and for your happiness. So, again, thank God for unanswered prayers. It's like, you know what? It's the energy has changed, the mood has changed, the relationship has changed, and it is being moved out of your life on purpose for a reason, but it's because it's going to allow the space to be um, for someone to come in, and this does not mean this is what situation you're in, but what they tap on memories and stuff for me to go, oh, this is like the energy you're talking about. I had a friend who was seeing a married man, and even though they were, very unhappy, and he was with his marriage, and um, he was staying with them for because of the children and all that, and they kind of were together but weren't together. It was really weird, right? Complicated. But my friend, they were dating, and he actually they knew each other before he met them and got married and everything, but she still kept him around, and she was like a one man woman. She was committed to him, and and the message that came in for her was, as long as you keep that, it keeps everyone else out. And so once you remove that out of your heart, it opens you up for the love to come in, someone else to come in. But while you're committed, you have these walls up. And I kind of feel like that's almost like the situation that they're married, but that it's like the emotion, the connection that you have, it's like it's being removed. Allow it to go, because it's going to open up the space for a new love to come in, and more in alignment with your next next piece of your path. So, so that's kind of where that is coming at. Yeah. Well, so just focus in on this card. This is what you have coming, if it will focus, because you got the Lover's card. Yeah, but nothing compared to what comes next. So just realize that was, you know, just because you have a cardboard pizza that you eat doesn't mean it's going to be the best pizza that you'll have in the world, right? I don't know why they give me weird examples, but there you go. All right, let me keep going here. Appreciate everyone for your patience here. Let me see here. Make sure. All right, so Aaron, you asked, well, successful, and we answered that, but then you will finishing the book help? Oh, okay. E, the Gemini, and you reunite. And you'd also asked another question about, will you make money going forward, or how will you make money going forward, and will you keep writing books? Okay, so let's take a look here. Let's see. First, is it going to bring you back together? Well, there is hope. The, of course, the star card, which is, it puts you into their eye, because it makes you shine bright, and it does allow them to see you differently. And it is pouring, the waters into the emotional waters here. Let me see what else. Clarify that. Celebration. Sometimes this can be a third party, though, too, which is interesting. What was the other one here? but you have the Emperor too, which means you really get control over your life. So I kind of feel like, there's hope and there's like I don't say it's like a triangle, but it just feels like there's a third wheel. But then there's you really understanding what you want out of a relationship. And it's like, you know what? I'm going to not wait. I'm going to step forward and say, this is what I want. Is this what you want? And then if they say no, then you can clear that out and move on. Or they'll voice what they want, and then that will change things. But I feel like it's not time. It's not time to be the receiver and just kind of be waiting. It's like time for you to really show your power and take on that emperor energy and just like take the bull by the horns. And it's like, and I know sometimes we don't want to do that because we're like, what if they say no? And then you're free. You can start letting them go and you don't have to be investing in them anymore. Right. And then let's take a look here about our, is that how you're going to make money through books? You do have the Queen of Pentacles, which is about abundance, and you have the Ace of Cups. Do you write love novels? Because this is all about new love and higher love, and Queen of Pentacles is about abundance. So I really feel like you have a talent around that coming in here. Yeah, and Five of Swords. Change. I kind of feel like this is what your books are about. It's like there's love and then there's conflict that turns into love, and that it starts off looking like people trying to prove things to one another, and then the energy changes. It changes mindsets, and I kind of feel like that's coming in there. So I kind of feel like they didn't ask how you're going to make that money, but I really like the books. I feel like writing books is, they are definitely saying that they want you to share that. Yeah, because it feels like you're going to make income two ways. You're going to have one that's kind of like, and kind of like, it's like you're working a job to support your dream, and until it really starts to take off. So you have like these two things going, one that's of the mind, and then one of the that's of your passion and your heart and of your gut and of your, communicating to the higher worlds, which is sharing your passion with the world. So so if that makes sense there. Okay, let me scroll back here a little more. If you have more questions, pop them down below. um and let me see here. So Jasmine, if you are still here, you said, oh, great, I'm glad that was resonated with you. Uh-oh, reconciliation with an Aquarius? I'm an Aquarius sun. Don't do it. I'm just kidding. So let's take a look here. What is their advice for you regarding the Aquarius, the Aquarian E? So you do have this Judgment card, which is double endings, double new beginnings. And so I really feel like what they're saying there is like, no, just don't look back, move forward. So yeah, continue to move forward. Oh, great, Maria. I'm so glad. And Katie, is it because he is a blah person? I'm getting the moon, which is all about the subconscious and the hidden and things that are underneath. And I don't feel it's because he's like a blah person, but just that he's a hurting person, that he just is seeing things differently, seeing, to go in a a different direction. And it's like when you think of life is that this is a giant play. We're veiled from the higher realms of who we really are, and we don't know the whole story of why we chose to be the character or have the characters come across our path that we do. But um, so every character is the perfect character. Sometimes they just play jerks, and sometimes they play the villain or the hero or the victim. And that's how we know we're in the drama, is when there's one of those, because that's the melodrama, right? There's always the victim that's across the road tracks, and the villain with the nyah, 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 it has the mustache, and then the hero that comes to rescue. Whenever any of that's going on, we're in the drama play. And so we know that whoever's coming through, the character in that moment, it's part of the script, and that's what's going on. So it's not really that they're a blah person, they're just being the person that you needed at this point in your life to bring you what you wanted to feel. And so, like we were talking about, it's for you, it's not happening to you, unless you want to. We do come here to play the victim, to play the hero, to play the villain, and sometimes we're playing all three at once and we don't even realize it. But we're going to feel what we're going to feel, and but just know that it's for you. I know it doesn't make it feel a whole lot better. Oh, thanks, Marie. Yes, we do love you, Katie, and just hang in there. Yeah. Yeah. And so I'm just reading through here, making sure I didn't bypass anyone. Thanks, Melissa. I appreciate that. Yeah, their spirit sometimes gets kind of scary accurate sometimes. I'll have to do like one of my sessions. I'll share some stories about some of the readings that I've had and the experiences that I've had where I was like, people were like, "How did you know that?" I've never told anyone, and I'm like, they know everything. I've learned to listen. That's my gift, is I've learned to shut up and step out of the way and listen to them. Um, and I'm very happy for that. And plus, I have a ton of Pisces in my chart. I've got like a stellium, or like 5 planets or ethereal things in Pisces, and some other water in my chart too. So it was like a friend of mine who does astrology. She was like, "You really, sometimes I say people have a choice on what they want to do in their lives. You really didn't. It was like, it's so in your chart everywhere. You were just like, this is what I'm for." So too funny. But definitely thank you for that. I'm so glad it resonates. All right. And Egyptian, if you are still here, yeah, throw any questions down below, and I am doing them in order. So hopefully, if you're still here, oh, good, Caitlin. I'm glad it resonated there. Oh, yeah. Hey, Cynthia, welcome. All right, so we'll do yours next. I think you're the last one that's listed here. I probably will let this one be the last one because I've almost been on for 3 hours, and so I do want to go rest a little bit, but I am going to try to be on tomorrow. As I said in the beginning, my host that is hosting me at her home, she's actually in the hospital this week, so send her prayer and love. If you don't mind, join us all together and just sending her just beautiful love. And I'm not sure if she's getting out tomorrow or not. So I hate to set a time and then I need to go pick her up from the hospital and abandon everyone. So I might just pop on like I did tonight, sometime when I know I'm going to be here for a couple hours, and I'll be happy to pull more cards too. So, Cynthia, will your soulmate find you? Absolutely, my pleasure. It's my honor. Oh no. This card keeps coming up. It's got the Five of Cups, which is disappointment. So I kind of feel like when you say your soulmate will find you, you know, the we have many soulmates in our life, and we have divine appointments. We don't have, like, on the other side, we're not married. You know, are so engulfed in unconditional love that we just have this huge love for everyone. We don't feel like these marital bonds on the other side when we get to the higher realms. And so we have tons of soulmates. Like I had five longish term relationships here. Um, and I felt every single one of them was on purpose, for a purpose. They always told me exactly what I wanted to hear, or not what I wanted to hear, but what I needed to hear, and until I saw what I wanted to hear about myself, and there were these perfect reflections for me. Now, while I was going through it, I didn't think that. I thought, how did anyone send these demons into my life? And then I'm like, oh, they were masters. Thank you for coming into my life and teaching me so much about myself. But I kind of feel like this was their message with that Five of Cups. Because, yeah, you do have the Nine of Pentacles too, which makes sense because Pentacles is your outside world and how you kind of have your worth related to the outside world. And the nines are like the hermit, which the hermit is all about the inner search. So this Nine of Pentacles, this feelings of worth about yourself, they're pointing you on this into this inner journey. And so I kind of feel like this uh, journey with soulmates, this journey of finding that the disappointment that's come in by the false, I'm gonna say the false alarms. I thought that was my soulmate. Well, I thought that was my soulmate because this is what I did. Went through the five. Well, maybe I just got it wrong. Maybe then my soulmate's coming next. And then I'm like, oh, it was all for me, getting me back into me to find me because I'm, like Whitney Houston, I find the greatest love of all inside of me because that's unconditional love. That's where I find it. All that love out there is what brings the disappointment, right? Um, but this is the journey. This is what that you're going through, and all of your soulmates find you is the real answer to the question. But let's take a look here. Yeah, because then you have the power of choice. You really have the power of choice coming in twice here because the message of the Five of Cups is you have three cups that are floating in the water, but you have two cups. If it'll come on, please focus. There it goes. She has two cups by her there. And those two cups represent like the Lover's card, which is emotional choices. And that also builds into the Chariot, which is both emotional choices and mental choices. And the whole message around the Chariot is that you hold within your hands the reins of any moment. You get to choose what story you put to it, what mental story you're going to say, this is what this means about me and others in the world. And I also get to choose what emotion I feel as I go through it. And so this power of choice card comes in very strongly for you, that you're learning and growing through that we were told when we were very young, on when someone does this, we're supposed to feel heartbroken. When someone does this means I'm a failure or I'm not good enough, or that, they're a jerk or whatever. And we realized that these were all opinions that were fed to us, and that all these supposed tos and shoulds and need tos, have tos and musts, we've been inundated through our entire lives. But we were told that's how it has to be. But this power comes in our life at some point where we realize I get to decide it. Everyone will have their opinion, and they'll try to convince us that their opinion is the way we should feel, but I can feel any way I want. I could, by all rights, choose that every single moment for the rest of my life mean anything that happens means I'm glorious and amazing, and I'm going to choose the emotion I'm going through is pure joy and unconditional love. Now, that would be very boring probably after a week. And I know we would all like to be able to try that for a week, but it's like, why'd come down here then if we didn't come down here to experience the opposites? But knowing that every moment is either a choice between unconditional love or the fear of losing conditional love, whether it's a story or an emotion we feel, it's going to be one or the other every moment. We're not trapped in deciding, that it has to be this. We can choose always unconditional love or an emotion that's related to unconditional love rather than an emotion that's related to fear of losing conditional love or fear of being rejected. So this is like, a big uh aha moment of your power that you hold in your life, and that's what they're wanting to bring through for you. So so hopefully that resonated and helped a little bit. I know that's probably not the exact question I mean the exact answer that you were looking for there. All right. Hey Rashmi, thank you for subscribing. And I think I will for one more. I'm only like 4 minutes short of 3 hours. So I will let you be my last one here. Will you get married to Alak? Alak? Let's see what they would like you to know around that. Okay. So you have the Emperor card here. And the Emperor kind of has this, they take control over their lives. But the Emperor can also mean our preconceived ideas and our expectations. Let me get some clarification around this. Can you give me some more info? Oh, okay. Okay. So you had the Emperor, which is number 4, and then now you have the Four of Pentacles, which is the number 4. And I feel like there's a change coming here for you in your life that you're taking control over. And represented by this Ace of Wands, which is new passion, new drive, newness coming in, new energy that's coming in. And it does result in victory and success. And it looks like new love coming in here too, if it'll focus. Come on, camera, be nice. So, okay, it's not doing it, but there's 2 people here. So I kind of feel like no, that you're not going to get married to them because there's a new passion that's coming in for your life that is much brighter and it totally outshines everything. And I kind of feel like you're just ready to leave behind. That's where I feel like this control and this power come in, is that you're just like, something happens. I feel, and they're not telling me specifics, but they're showing me that something happens. Like you see something, there's, and you're just like, I've had it. What am I, holding this flame? Why am I holding this flame for them? I have a new flame, and it's like this is your flame for them, and this is your flame for the new person. The sun compared to a torch. So I feel like that it's not going to be them, but that's okay. You're totally going to be fine with it, because I kind of feel like, have you ever seen that meme where there's like a big adult and they have this huge teddy bear behind their back, and there's a little girl and she has like this small teddy bear. Its arm is falling off. It's missing an eye and a leg, and it's all dirty. And asking them to hand it over, and they don't realize, and is like, oh my gosh, so much bigger and so much better, more, and fitting for them. than the other. And I kind of feel like that's what's happening for you. So there you have it. All right, everyone. Well, I just hit the exact 3 hour mark. So I'm going to go ahead and say thank you, thank you, thank you for all of you new subscribers, for everyone that joined me tonight. I had an absolute blast. It's my honor, my privilege. If you haven't looked at the link down below for the playlist for giveaways, please be sure to check that out because I have like 2 or 3 out. Of giveaways that are available that you could win some great astro readings, some personal readings, upon a star, wishes. So be sure to check that out. And of course, I always have new videos coming out. Like today, next week's weekly energy updates by zodiac sign came out. I had the 9 Hermit portal readings come out last week. So a lot of free readings that come out. So just be sure to check that out. And if you haven't hit the little alarm bell and hit the notify all when all my videos come out, I really encourage you to do that too, because then you'll be notified and winners too, in addition to all that free content. So much blessings on this beautiful full moon in Pisces weekend. And I wish you all the love and all the best. Focus on unconditional love because that's going to expand greatly whatever emotion we're focusing on this weekend. So much love to you all. You all take care and we'll see you soon. Take care.